political genius. And he has proven that I was 100% correct about him. The man is a savage. He is a master troll, and he knows just how to manipulate the Republican base. He's got them wrapped around his finger. He's just leaning in on all the political games. I've said multiple times that tribalism in this country is more important than religion and family, than country. People who succumb to tribalism put the success of their tribe above everything else. So, what Ron DeSantis is doing right now is outstanding from a manipulation standpoint. Very effective. This is just the kind of political theater that will be very effective in manipulating a lot of American conservatives. Same people who talk about the political theater of the January 6 hearings won't recognize the political theater in what he's doing. They will genuinely think that he's somehow accomplishing something productive. When DeSantis pretends like his intention is to stop the immigration as opposed to just playing games, they will believe him and fall for it. When the Republicans pretend as if the goal here is to bring awareness to this and that the fact that people are talking about it is somehow helpful, the conservative base will absolutely fall for that 100% hook, line, and sinker. The reality, however, is this is accomplishing nothing for anyone else other than Governor DeSantis and the Republican Party. That's the only benefit. They're not raising awareness in any way that is productive to where, you know, you're going to force the issue and then Democrats are now going to take it seriously. That's not going to happen. And the Republicans know this. So there's not going to be any positive benefit. It's not going to, eventually Joe Biden's going to be like, okay, let's start looking at immigration. It's not going to accomplish anything other than getting political points by getting a conservative base to feel like he's somehow winning. He's sticking it to those stupid liberals. Now, don't think that I don't get, like, I'm not 100% dismissive of what he's doing. I do appreciate that Joe Biden is not taking the immigration situation as seriously as I think he should. Um, if I were part of Blue MAGA, I would point that out as if that's a contrast to the Republicans. But since I'm not Blue MAGA, I will clarify that both parties aren't taking the situation seriously. The Republicans just use it as a political theater. It's just something to rile up their base, and the Democrats just really don't care. The only thing they care about is, again, using it for political purposes. So in terms of when the Republicans are in power, then you all of a sudden, oh my goodness, kids in cages, right? But who built the cages? Who built the cages? Right. Um, the idea of exposing the Democrats, and it's kind of like, okay, you guys love the immigrants so much, and you don't care about our borders, that you're open borders, whatever. Like the idea of thinking in that way, and then sending it to, Vice President uh, Harris's home and things like that. A rich area like um, Martha's Vineyard. Trust me, it's not lost on me how amazing something like that could be. The only problem is that for me to fully appreciate it, I have to be a savage, and I'm not a savage, right? I have to totally not care about the lives of these people just being used like pawns. and not even in a productive way. It's one thing if they're being used as pawns to get the Democrats to take it seriously and to get them to address the problem. But they know the Democrats aren't going to do anything. This is not going to do anything productive. There isn't going to be a thanks to Governor DeSantis, now, Biden is doing stuff. That's not going to happen. So, because of the fact that it's not something that's going to have a productive outcome, then it's purely savage, right? It's not the ends justify the means. Like, this is kind of sick to use people like this, but in the end, if this is what it's going to take to get the Democrats to take it seriously, then so be it. But that's not the case. This is not what it takes. This is not going to get that outcome. All the Democrats are going to do is they're going to utilize this for political means in terms of their whole thing is we're not as bad as the Republicans, right? Um, may not like what we do. We may not do enough for you, but do you really want those crazy Republicans in power? So this is just going to be used on their end to highlight how insane the Republicans are, how much of savages they are to be playing around with people's lives, right? So the Democrats are going to utilize this to get more votes and get more donations and to manipulate their base, right? So DeSantis is going to get, you know, even more support. He's going to look like a hero, and it's going to help him get into the White House. And the Democrats are going to use this as well politically to gain. So who gets screwed? The American people, right? Because if you're really concerned about immigration, this is not helping immigration, right? Um, so we're not getting any benefit from it. The only people benefiting are these two political parties, the duopoly. The Democrats and Republicans are going to win from playing these games, right? They're going to utilize it to win with their base. But as usual, we, the American people, get screwed. But unfortunately, a lot of conservatives are not going to realize this. They're going to fall for this hook, line, and sinker. They're going to look at it as, yeah, sticking it to them. And somehow they're going to have this emotional reaction of, like, oh, this is somehow beneficial. And maybe there's, it's like poetic justice. Like, you want to open borders? Well, we're going to send the people to you, whatever, right? But again, to appreciate that, you have to be a savage. You have to not care about these people who are being used as pawns. You have to be such a savage and such a tribalist that you don't recognize that what Governor DeSantis is doing is 100 times worse than what the perception was of Joe Biden. People said Joe Biden was encouraging people to come into this country because of maybe he wasn't being aggressive enough, or somehow the narrative was like he was being in a way inviting. He's almost like telling people, "Come on over here. We're gonna get you free this and free that. Come on, no, go over, right?" Okay. So so infested are people with tribalism that they don't see that this blows Biden out of the water, right? You think Biden was encouraging people? Governor DeSantis is promoting to other countries that you can come to America and you're going to get a free flight across the country, private chartered flights. What do you think that's going to do in terms of encouraging people to come to this country? Do you think more people would want to come to this country or less people, knowing that Republicans will pay for your flight? So imagine you want to go to another country that's better than your own, and you know that there's a political party that will pay thousands of dollars to fly you and your family across the country. But because of tribalism, the same people who will talk about Joe Biden encouraging people to cross the border, it won't even occur to them, like, wait a minute. So we're giving free flights? Like, it's just insane how disconnected from reality people are in this country. Right? He's basically encouraging people to come into this country illegally, and yet he's not. Instead of him suffering politically because of it. He's becoming even more of a hero, looked at as a hero. I mean, it's just the ultimate level of insanity. Joe Biden not being aggressive enough is seen as inviting open borders. Governor DeSantis offering free chartered private flights for immigrants. Somehow, it's not going to occur to most conservatives that he is encouraging illegal immigrants to come into this country. As some say, he's doing a form of human trafficking, right? He's 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 you know he's lying to these people and manipulating them and tricking them into getting into these flights and flying them across the country for free. And then you have these liberals who are utilizing it on their end to show that they're the better party, right? So we're going to take care of these people and blah, 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 blah. So again, the tribal brain doesn't even see what the end result. The end result is not helping the border situation. The end result is not owning the libs, right? They use this as a win on their side to show that, hey, we're compassionate. Look how these Republicans are savages, right? So this move is helping the Democrats. It's helping the liberals. It's helping the left. But conservatives won't see that because of emotions. It's too tempting to look at, oh, yeah, sticking it to them. If you don't want to deal with the border, well, we're going to send these migrants right to the vice president's home. I mean, it's so juvenile. It's so juvenile. It's sticking some kid's book to the desk. It's a kick me sign. That's America, the United States of America, where we have grown adults who are so captivated by such juvenile behavior that results in the very thing that they say they're against. The White House, right? We don't like open borders, but we'll put in the White House a guy who encourages people to come to this country because he's providing them free flights, right? We're going to put that guy in the White House. The guy who's openly and aggressively encouraging immigrants to come into this country, right? Because we can't see that level, right? We're so stuck on, oh, they went to Kamala Harris' house. Yeah, stuck it to them. Who only lives. The duopoly wins again. The Democrats and the Republicans are winning. Meanwhile, we, the American people, are losing. Unplug from your tribes. Stop falling for these games. Stop focusing so much of your attention on the other party, on the other side. And pay attention to the bullshit that your side is doing. Clean your house first before you worry about what's happening in somebody else's house. All right, if you're conservative, pay attention to what conservatives are doing. Pay attention to what Republicans are doing. Right? Call them out. Set them straight. If you're a Democrat, you're a liberal, you're left-leaning, pay attention to what your side is doing. Focus on that. Get the Democrats to do their jobs. Help third parties get in power. Don't worry about what red states are doing, what the Republicans are doing. Worry about what your side is doing. Because the thing that the elites want from you, the things that the duopoly wants from you, is for you to focus most of your attention on the other side. Because as long as you do that, both the Democrats and Republicans can get away with murder. Because their base isn't looking at what they're doing, their base is being distracted by the other side. Governor DeSantis is a savage, a childish savage who has no respect for conservatives in this country. He's just using them as pawns. He's using them as fools, playing them like a fiddle, all for his own personal gain. He's getting donations, he's getting political power by playing conservatives in this country for fools, just like the Democrats do the liberals. This is Debate Me channel. Debate me in the comment section below. Click on the like button, subscribe, smash that bell, be well. And those who love DeSantis will put themselves in pretzels to explain somehow how this makes sense, or, you know, probably deflect away from the points that I made and focus on. But they should see this stuff. They should, they like to hide from the border thing, and it's right to put it right at their doorstep, right in their faces, so they can use it to get more donations and more support by contrasting themselves as the compassionate ones versus the savage Republicans who are playing games with people's lives. Like that you're cheerleading that. That's what you want? You want to help Democrats? The idiocy in this country. This is the Debate Me channel. Debate me in the comment section below. I'm out.